and welcome to Rise, Heal, and Grow. I'm Leah M. Hill. This show is a podcast production of Apollo Sunrise Center, which is a health, wellness, and spiritual retreat center in Merrimack, Massachusetts. On this show, we shine the light on those who nurture wellness and inspire positive change. My guest today is Lisa Kawski. She is the founder of Sound Healing for the Soul, where she uses crystal bowls and other instruments to recalibrate the body, mind, and spirit. Welcome, Lisa.
Thank you, Leah. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you for being here today. We have a lot to talk about because you also brought some instruments with you that we're going to be able to get a little demonstration of.
Yes.
But I want to first get a sense of where you started on this journey. I mean, you had spoken previously about, your first experience with quartz crystal bowl and playing it and how it was life-changing. What happened?
Well, it was in a group healing with some dear friends of mine, and I was invited to play a quartz crystal bowl and during the meditation. And up until then, I had never physically touched one. I'd been in the presence of other sound healers and thought they were exquisite. And so I took the bowl, and when I was given the signal, I stroked it or circled around it. And in that moment, there was something that happened, an energetic pull or some sort of transformation that I don't want to say it came from above and through me, but to the point where I looked around at the other participants and wanted to say, do you feel what I just felt?
Oh my gosh.
And I just continued to play during the meditation, and then afterwards I wound up just sitting there in awe. And the next day, purchased my first quartz crystal bowl.
And then it began.
And honestly, it was more purchasing it for my own use, never envisioning what path lay ahead of me. So it was life transforming.
Wow. And it's almost like there was something that just suddenly got turned on. It was like something maybe asleep in you or dormant within you. And then just having that first experience with the sound, but also probably the vibration of the bowl as well.
I think so. And I've told this story a little bit at some of my sessions that I think it harkens back to when I was a little girl and my parents and I, we'd be out to dinner, and my dad would take a wine glass or a water glass and dip his finger in wine or water and go around the glass, and it would make a sound.
Right. We used to do that as kids too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there I was with this quartz crystal bowl, and come to realize that was somewhere back inside of me in my memory. So I think I always enjoyed that, and now I had the opportunity to do that.
Right. And now you've come a long way, because here you are, almost 10 years later, you've been doing this now. So where you started with this, experience, this awakening is really what it sounds like it was. And now it's your career, it's your life.
It
so
is.
Is there anything along this journey that has surprised you on this journey? Something you didn't expect to experience or to learn?
I think it's just the fact that the path that these instruments, starting with the crystal bowls and moving on to other instruments, meeting people, healers of all walks of life, either attending my sessions, learning more about what they do, and collaborating and integrating. It took me on a healing journey of my own through studying with masters and teachers for master level Reiki, shamanism.
Right, it does go
sound.
along with a lot of other modalities.
It really
well
does.
And supports them.
Prior to the pandemic, I was able to be in a lot of yoga studios and collaborating. And when everything shut down, one would think, well, where do I go? And a lot of things didn't even open afterwards. So I wound up doing live streams on a weekly basis, offering virtual sound baths.
That's great.
And with my partner, had to learn the technicalities of how to get the sound from here out and across the airwaves. So there's been a lot of knowledge, both spiritually and professionally throughout the last 10 years. But it's been beautiful, as well as I now have studio space, so I can offer it within
Yes.
my space, as well as going to other spaces,
Right.
and traveling around the world to offer it too. So it's magical. I feel
Yeah.
very blessed.
Yes, and that's also a difference from your previous career background, or what you, I think, maybe even still do, is interior design.
Exactly.
So how did the interior design kind of feed into the sound healing, or vice versa? Like, how did they go together?
Well, they didn't at the beginning, and
Okay.
that was really challenging
makes
for
sense.
me. I kept questioning
Right.
this new path that had come to me, and it really wasn't until I relaxed into the possibility of they don't have to come together, but I actually physically brought them together in my studio in Topsfield. So I have my design studio in the
right.
front half and the sound space in the second half. And that's when it dawned on me that for over 30 years I've been designing spaces for people within their homes
Right.
that I always felt were sacred spaces. And now I've brought that into their heart space. So I'm able to create an inner journey for participants where my energy is there, the instruments' energy and vibrations, and now it really is up to the participants what they need, what they want. And as far as my design business, I've always offered it as a collaboration, that I'm guiding you and facilitating the path, but it's really empowering them. And the same is true for sound.
Yeah,
Same
that's
thing.
incredible how you were able to take two different things that seemingly are very
Yeah.
different, but then find a way that they can blend and work together. And I love that, creating sacred space, whether it's external with visual space and living space, or internal in the heart. And that's a very, I think they could be reflections of each other, like mirrors of each other. What's in your heart is usually what you're surrounded with in your life,
Exactly.
and vice versa. And then also I can see how this evolution of your career and what you do, as that has evolved, like with the sound healing and doing more of that, has it also influenced your work as an interior designer?
It has, because I got to design my space in Topsfield. It was, an empty palette. And so envision in the middle of the pandemic, moving into this space, I wanted warm, comforting colors, pillows and cushions, carpeting, so that when people enter, they feel that cozy
Yeah.
space. And when I'm designing interiors for clients, whether it's their kitchen or their living room, I realized it's also creating a space for them that feels safe and sacred. And so yes, life and
Yeah.
art are imitating
They
the
kind
same.
of mirror each other.
Yeah.
And you talk about how the sound healing that you do is vibration, which is what we all are. But can you explain how it recalibrates our body, mind, and spirit? How does that
I
work?
think how I've interpreted it and understood for myself is that, it really, the vibrations of the instruments connect with us as humans, because we're pretty much composed of 80% water, fluid.
Right.
So anything that vibrates, if you can sort of envision a bowl of water, the vibration or the sound waves are going to go and trigger the molecules in the water.
Right.
So the same is happening within our bodies.
Okay.
And when that happens, to me, it works with your nervous system, your, every part of you. And
Right.
and then in doing so, when you allow yourself to relax into this, to receive, not be thinking.
Yeah,
I
that's the
really
hard
try
part, but
people
yeah.
to feel. And when
Yeah.
I say, as I guide people into it, I really do all the talking so that their brain hears everything, and then I work down and move into feeling and talking about
right.
that. So that allows for the body to relax. It allows for your heart to open. It allows for you to really receive, and not necessarily from me, but from the instruments.
From the instruments, yeah. And I found that too when I've been able to experience your sound healing with all different instruments that we'll see as well. But I found that as well. Like I might have arrived there very distracted, overwhelmed with all the stuff going on in my head or my life at the moment. And then as I got into it, and like you said, just allowed myself to relax, when I left there, I felt that it was just like I had a deeper connection with myself. You know, it is amazing how that works. You know, it works in a very short amount of time, and I felt the immediate effects of it after leaving one of your sessions. But I also imagine it reverberates as well. You know, like the more you do this, the more attuned you are to the vibration. Yeah.
And what I've learned also, you know, I was so focused on giving to the participants, I forgot that I'm also receiving when I'm in the process of doing a sound session.
Yeah.
My body and my mind is there. So I'm really, I go into a mode I call the composer, where I'm really working with not my mind, but feeling the vibrations of the instruments and creating and composing the sound bath, so that at that point, I'm not thinking either. So everybody in the room, hopefully, as best as possible, is feeling.
So you're all in that moment together.
Exactly.
And that's what I think makes it so powerful, is everybody in the same room, in that same safe and sacred space, receiving exactly what they need, you know, whatever the person needs. You know, I might have needed just the clearing out of something in my mind or my body that's been distracting me. Someone else might feel like they're stuck, or like you, like have a spontaneous awakening to this, you know?
Which is so exciting. And I also, you know, there's a lot of people that come that are in pain, physical pain. There are a lot of participants that are in grief and sadness. And, you know, to me, it's a gift that they find their way to a session and trust my guidance for them. So I always view it as the participants are finding and doing their own healings. I'm here to help them and be the guide.
So you're providing maybe that sacred space where the healing can take place. Yeah, that makes sense. So what can someone expect from a session with you, whether it's a private session? I know you do private sessions, you do groups, then you do bigger events. And so like someone who has never experienced this before, is it, like in my experience, it's not just music. It's like it's something deeper than music.
Exactly.
It sort of sounds like music to your ears, but it's really much deeper. Like, would someone expect to have emotions come up, or
that's a very good
find
point.
Anything like that?
It can run the gamut. It depends on that particular person. I've had many people come up afterwards and share with me how deeply the experience touched them. They came in with no expectations, or some people have expectations.
Okay.
And they're sort of blown away because all of a sudden they realize, at times you can't control everything. So, and that's the beauty of letting go and releasing and receiving, is it may trigger something, a memory. It may create a new thought that all of a sudden you go on another path. So it's really very individualized, and I really try not to give too much information beforehand, so that each person really can have their own experience of what it is to them. And one of the, sort of like the perk, or the, oh my gosh, this really is working, is when they come the next month, next month, or come in a few months, or try me at a different venue to have a different experience. And again, beautiful to share when they share what it meant to them. So for me, I know this may sound silly, but I viewed it as my way during challenging times of giving sort of like a general hug to whoever walks through the door, so that they feel loved and protected and can be themselves, because that's the whole thing. If you come and you're holding all of that in, and you leave with it all in, what's the point? You really need to trust me as the guide to open some doors, and be willing to possibly shed a tear or two, or to have a shift where you're going to change something in your life. And I always start with recommending we start with an intention for the session. So that sort of sets the groundwork for each person as to what do you want to get out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's important. And I love your example of the hug that you give because, sometimes that's all we need, right? If we can't get a physical hug from someone we love and care about or seeking support from, to be able to get that kind of energetic hug in person, it can be really powerful.
There you go.
I love that.
That's what I'm doing.
That's great. All right. Well, what do you say we get a little demonstration since you brought some of your tools, and you'll have to briefly explain what they are too.
I will. I'm just going to share.
I would love to get a little demonstration of your work. Okay.
This is one of my newest instruments. It's a double chalice singing bowl, and what I love about this is it's really it's technical notes in the fifth, so they're gonna harmonize together. So this is one that I'm gonna.
I've never seen anything like that. Okay, I've only ever seen the bowl. I have never seen
this is
the attached like this. That's
newest
great.
instrument out there. You probably have never seen this either.
I have never seen that.
I have several rain sticks in my studio.
Okay.
And they're vertical instruments, but this is a circular one, so I'm going to play this.
So it's
circular
to
rain
sound
stick.
like the rain or give the energy of the rain.
Exactly.
Okay.
And this is what's called a koshi chime. And you can hear a little tingling of it. It's like fairy bells, and this is a favorite of a lot of people. So I just brought a couple of instruments and thought I'd do, a very quick version because my sessions are usually an hour long, but just to give everybody a little opportunity to sink into stillness.
Yeah, just to have a moment. Yeah,
So
that sounds great.
If you'll
Thank you.
indulge me, I invite everybody to just, find yourself in a seated position, or you can lay down and just take a breath or two to bring yourself into you right in this moment. And breathe. And normally I'd guide through a poem or a guided meditation, but right now I just want you to experience the power of the sound and let it travel through you, in you, and around you. So wherever those sounds have taken you, know that you can always revisit that. Know even if you take yourself to the ocean's edge and listen to the ocean waves, or go out into the forest and listen to the birds, the leaves falling, especially this time of year, you can find and create your own soundscapes for relaxation, comfort. That's just a little bit. So welcome back, everybody.
Thank you, Lisa. Oh my gosh, you put me in the zone right there. That was great. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I love the little fairy bell that you talked about, the fairy bells. I was like right there with the fairy bells. And one thing I was thinking as I was experiencing this just now is that this is so approachable for so many people because, some healing modalities might be like intimidating, even sometimes massage, people don't want someone touching them, or they have some past experience or trauma that makes them uncomfortable, and what's this person going to do to me? What's going to happen to me? Where this is so welcoming.
It's very
it really
gentle.
is very
and
gentle.
It's really, these instruments are on the quieter side, if you will. I have 3 gongs that I use,
Yes.
and drums, which are tones that I don't want to say can trigger, but they can elicit, a bit of discomfort.
Yeah.
And what I tell participants at the end is, if you did experience some discomfort, it could have been an energetic shift, moving things that might be stuck within your body or your energy field, and to look at it in that respect as opposed to, I didn't like that sound. So really taking an honest look within yourself as to what the sound may be doing. So it's not just a harmonious experience.
Yeah, that's important, I think,
It
for
really
people to
is.
realize. It's not like, I don't know what, maybe it gave someone uncomfortable memories or something of a past experience, but what you're saying, that's part of the healing. That's part of it.
Exactly. We need to look at the light and the dark side of everything. And I'm very respectful and mindful of the volume that I play for whether it is, a certain person, if it's a private session and I know they're going through something, I'm very respectful not to really traumatize anybody.
Right.
But clearly it's personal. And, oftentimes I say this isn't a performance what I'm doing. So
It's not a performance.
people
No, it's
are
not
laying
like
down,
they're just
their eyes are
watching you.
closed, and really you're creating the experience, the visuals within you, the journey that you're taking to guide you. And that's always wonderful on the other end when people share what they saw, what they felt, what they experienced.
Yeah, and so even though each experience is different, for not only for every person, but for the same person, like you said, that might come many times, there's a sort of a ritual to this, or a ceremony that gives it some structure.
Right.
So, like you said, you typically would start with a poem. You would explain, some of the experiences, some of the sounds, show the instruments. So it's not like someone's just getting thrown into this experience, and they don't know when the gong's going off, something that could put them, at unease, or at dis-ease, and it's like you have this ritual that I think is part of that soothing experience.
Exactly.
So people kind of know they can go with the flow.
And it starts actually when I greet everybody at my door or in another space. Is I sage or Palo Santo everybody, and for those that haven't experienced that, I explain what that is about. I anoint with essential oils, so that's stimulating another sense within us. And when people create their little nest to lay down and be comfy cozy in the experience, it's so cool to watch as you might be next to somebody you don't know, and there's that human experience of, hi, I'm Lisa. Who are you? So, for the next hour, you're going to be with this person, even though they're doing their journey, you're doing yours. Energetically, we're all together.
Yeah, it's still a shared experience. Yeah, that's great. I think that's important too. I mean, I know, like you said, you do offer private sessions, which I'm sure can be really, very powerful. But also being in a room with either a small group or a large group of people really adds to it. It just kind of adds to the whole vibration of it. Wow. So is this for anybody? Is there someone who it either might not work for, or someone who shouldn't participate in this, or is this just whoever you are, whatever you need?
It's really open to all. Yeah. I've worked with 3- and 4-year-olds at preschools.
Oh, nice.
Very short little sound baths, but exciting, all the way up to senior centers. And I've been with Endicott College for many years now, so it's wonderful to offer it to the students there during exam time.
Oh gosh, wow.
And
what a blessing that is.
I have the yoga club, I've had the football and lacrosse team come in, so it's really for everybody. I don't think, I even had most recently my daughter-in-law is expecting, and she was there. Thank you. And to know that my little granddaughter, was experiencing that.
Yeah.
So I think it's, and even for a lot of the people, so I had a group come in of college friends that were all engineers, and 8 women came in And I know they're using the opposite side brain. That's what they do in their day to day.
Yeah.
And I watched them knowing it was going to be challenging for some of them to just relax into the experience. But I get to physically see their bodies when they relax the tension.
Right.
And on the other end, when they wake up or come back and they're like, can you just keep doing this?
Yeah.
When can we come back? So that's when I know I've really touched something.
There is some like addictive craving energy that it does. So I can imagine that you're seeing like their shoulders drop, you know, their face soften, everything.
Watching their breath work, because a lot of times it's interesting to see that people really hold their breath, don't breathe. I offer my sound at my friend's salt cave in Hamilton, Spirit Tree Wellness, where you're on a zero gravity chair, so you're not on the floor. Your body is basically weightless, and you're getting halotherapy, and you're getting the sound therapy. And honestly, at the end of every session there, everybody says, can we just sleep over here?
Oh, yeah,
so
I bet. They don't want to
truly
move
experience. Yeah, so I think it's, inviting people to learn, and it really is a learned experience, how to relax your body, how to receive healing.
Yeah.
And we're so programmed to go, go, go all the time, to take that time, and I call it a gift to my participants.
Yeah.
Thank you for gifting me the time to give you time to just be.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And that's really what we need right now.
Yeah. Oh, that's really beautiful. So on this journey that you've been on for 10 or so years now with sound healing and blending it and combining it with your interior design work, is there any mantra or a thought or anything that's like carried you through? Is there anything that comes to you that you're like, this is the message that has been guiding me?
That's a wonderful question. For me, it's really been about taking the time to really believe that the universe delivers what we each need when we need it. But then it's up to us.
We all forget that.
To be aware and to hear that calling or to get that message. So I've been on the 10 years, I've been saying yes to as many things as I possibly can, and I'll think about it afterwards.
Oh, so, that's a good mantra. Just say yes.
Just say yes.
Yes, any opportunity, because
you never know.
You never know.
You never know. And I think that's what makes life exciting also, is the unknown. And rather than approach it with fear, if we can approach it with an open heart and an open mind, then like I said, I never projected a career as a sound healer.
Right,
And
who would have 10 years ago?
I'm an interior designer. That was my definition. So now, I take great pride in being able to say, I get to do what I love to do.
Right.
And it helps people.
Yeah,
so.
and it shows. I mean, it just radiates from you that this is your passion, and, this is why you're here and why you had such an incredible awakening all those years ago.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
So if people want to learn more about you, find you, connect with you, or attend any of your sessions, how do they do that? How do they find you?
I'm pretty easy. You can go on my website, soundhealingforthesoul.com. And like I said, I'm located in Topsfield and right across from the Topsfield Fairgrounds, which starts tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Oh, that's right. Yes.
So that makes it. Luckily, next week, instead of having my normal group session, I'm at Endicott College. But I do offer sound healings once a month, group sessions on the second Wednesday of each month at my studio. And the third Wednesday, I'm at Spirit Tree Wellness in Hamilton. That's the Salt Cave, and I have 2 sessions there. And I'm on Facebook as well as Instagram. So, reach out and connect. I do the sessions, private sessions, group sessions, like I said, and corporate events, as well as private home events. So
That keeps
Have
you busy.
instruments will travel.
That's right. That keeps you busy.
Yeah.
Well, Lisa, this was so wonderful to have you on the show today, and thank you for this demonstration that
You're
you
very
gave us. I
welcome.
feel like I shifted just in those few minutes of just being here, feeling the resonance. But I think even it would have translates. It does translate over the TV and over the audio waves as well, because it's such a gift. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It's wonderful.
Great. Thank you. And thank you for watching or listening today on Rise, Heal, and Grow with Leah M. Hill. Don't forget to like, share, and comment with any access wherever you're watching us or tuning in today. And also please subscribe to the YouTube channel for Apollo Sunrise Center. Thanks, and stay tuned again because we have lots more episodes coming up.